cruising in 2021 is going to be much different to how it has been previously. In our ultimate guide to cruising in 2021, we show you everything you need to know about booking and going on a cruise this year. Well, ahoy there, cruisers.
We're Cruise with Ben and David. Welcome to our channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below. We know most of you aren't subscribed. Why not? Hit the button now.
So let's start with, when will cruising resume? Well, this is the $1 billion question. Literally 1 billion, as that's how much some companies are burning each month keeping their fleets afloat. No pun intended. We're going to try and answer this looking at the situation at the moment. Unfortunately, for most cruise lines, it looks like the first half of the year will be a complete wipeout. Cruise lines are already cancelling cruises until April, and we expect that to move even further into the year.
But hopefully, some of the first cruises will go ahead between May and July. But why do we think this?
Well, because of several things. Distribution of the vaccines has just begun. It's going to take months to cover all of those at risk. And the CDC in the USA have put some pretty big barriers in the way for cruising to resume. This is going to take a good few months for them to start and comply with the new sailing conditions. Plus, the ships have to get crew back on board. At the moment, most cruise ships around the world are operating with ghost crews of around 100 crew members, compared with the thousands that are normally on board. It's going to be a gigantic effort to get all of the ships recrewed again.
Especially with quarantines and COVID tests, and then there's training the crew with all these new procedures. There are a few cruise lines already cruising in Europe, AIDA, MSC and Costa Cruises, but these are mostly limited to EU citizens from certain approved countries. Some of these cruises are just going to nowhere, they're just sea days.
We have everything crossed that by the middle of next year, normality will slowly resume. But if anything changes, we'll let you know, so make sure you subscribe.
So the big question on everyone's lips, is cruising safe?
Well, experienced cruisers like us know that the level of hygiene is already incredibly high on cruise ships. It's a controlled environment where no one else can wander in from the outside, making a cruise a very safe form of international travel for holidaymakers.
Plus, with all the extra protocols cruise lines are putting in place, there is no other form of vacation that is safer.
Cruise lines have used this pause in operations wisely to come up with new strategies and protocols to minimise the impact of the pandemic on the health of crew and passengers, all while enabling social distancing and keeping levels of enjoyment high. That's the most important thing. They still want cruising to be fun and just as good as it was before.
We feel very confident that cruising is safe, and we'll talk about some of the big changes later in this video. So, stay tuned.
So next up, booking a cruise. Should you book a cruise now or wait for all of this to blow over? Now that cruise lines are giving booking reassurances and putting robust safety enhancements in place, the answer is most definitely yes.
Because of pent-up demand and an influx of deals that cruise lines and travel agents are offering, there's been a reported surge in bookings for the next year, meaning if you don't book soon, you could miss out on some great deals.
Plus, as soon as cruise is given the green light to sail again, there's going to be a huge influx of booking, so get in there and book early. Ships are only going to be travelling at 50 to 70% of normal capacity, so they're going to sell out quicker. So if you want to sail on a certain ship on a certain date, book as soon as you can.
Plus, now it's wave season. So the next question, what is wave season?
Well, it's January to March every single year. This is when you'll usually find some of the best cruise deals. Most every cruise line has got some great offers at the moment, offering some of their best discounts of the year. Whether this be money off, extra onboard credit, or extra perks for booking. And deposits are super low at the moment as well.
So now is really one of the best times to book your cruise. But do keep in mind that things still could change. Cruises could be cancelled, so you need to know what the cancellation and refund policies are before you book. It's well worth taking the time to look at the cruise line's websites before choosing to book a cruise.
But most cruise lines are also offering, such as Princess, Norwegian, Royal, Carnival and more, are offering a Cruise with Confidence programme, so you can be flexible and you're able to make last-minute changes to your booking, like changing the date or cancelling the cruise for credits with no extra charges. Plus, if your cruise is cancelled, most cruise lines are offering a generous future cruise credit to book another cruise with. Most cruise lines are offering around 20% compensation. So if you have cruise credits, now is a great time to use them with all of the special deals.
These schemes will probably be removed as life turns back to normal. But make sure you read all the terms and conditions before you book so you've got a clear picture of what you're dealing with.
So should you book direct with the cruise line or with a travel agent? Well, it's pretty simple for us. We always book the best price. It's as simple as that. There are some great travel agents with their own special offers, so always double check. Also, we recommend that, if possible, you pay your cruises using a credit card, one that protects you in the unlikely event that your cruise line goes bust during the pandemic. Now, don't worry, we don't think this is going to happen, but this is a way you should get all of your money back just in case.
That goes as well for anything related to travel at the moment. Flights, vacations, hotels, excursions, anything. We really recommend you put them on a credit card.
Yeah, and again, as David said, with flights, we recommend you don't book them yet and make sure your insurance covers cancellations, or book them with a protected travel agent as part of a package and check you are covered for any changes.
If possible, book a cruise closer to your home that doesn't require any lengthy travel and in particular flights. That way there won't be any problems getting to and from the port.
So that brings us to insurance. This is one of the biggest points, and it could be a tricky one at the moment as many insurers will not be offering insurance for cruises or travel, or they will have expensive premiums. This will obviously change once normality resumes, but it's well worth reading all of the small print and checking that you are fully covered. Many won't cover things due to COVID-19, so make sure you check everything.
Yeah, and if in doubt, just give your insurer a call and ask them what your cover is. And this is another reason to pay your cruise with a credit card. This will protect your money in case things go wrong.
So next up, some of the changes on board. We've talked about these before, but we've got a full list of all of the things that are definitely going to go ahead. When cruising does initially restart, there's going to be some big changes. You'll see shorter cruises, especially from the USA and Caribbean, less than 7 nights, most being 3 or 4 nights.
You'll see touchless check-in and disembarkation. Everything will need to be completed before you arrive at the port.
There's also going to be a new health screening process before boarding, including a test before you cruise or before you board at the port. And you're going to have to fill out a health questionnaire on the day of boarding as well. You'll also find things like staggered arrival times and social distancing in the port.
Lots of new protocols to protect yourself and the crew, and new technology installed, such as fogging machines, UVC lights, plus there'll be social distancing on the ship as well.
And the use of masks will be required when not eating or drinking. You'll also find things like daily temperature checks on board and loads of hand washing and hand sanitizer stations around the ship, as well as more cleaning of the ship. So you'll see crew around giving things a clean all the time.
Ships will have new air filtration systems, and this will make the air much safer. Much more like an aircraft, with brand new hospital-grade filters and air being replaced very quickly.
You're not going to be allowed to mix and mingle or sit with people you're not travelling with, so this could be a problem for solo travellers. And you're going to see big changes to dining. There'll be no more buffet, it will be staff picking things for you, and you're going to be ordering from your phone instead of ordering from paper menus.
Shore excursions will be limited. You'll need to book ship-approved shore excursions. Doing it yourself in most ports will not be permitted.
Don't worry, most of these things will not even be noticeable on your cruise, and things are going to change back to normal before the end of 2021. Ships are still going to be fun.
Let's talk about new ships coming in 2021.
Yeah, because of shipyard delays, lots of the ships that were due last year are going to sail for the first time in 2021. And there are some really exciting ships, such as Royal Caribbean's Odyssey of the Seas, will be sailing her in April, hopefully. A brand new Quantum class ship. She really looks spectacular.
There's also the Celebrity Apex and the Carnival Mardi Gras. The Mardi Gras is a brand new designed ship for Carnival and will have the first ever roller coaster at sea called Bolt.
Sounds amazing. And Virgin Voyage's Scarlet Lady will hopefully finally sail for the first time after being cancelled numerous times. And then there's still the largest ever ship built for the British market, the P&O Cruises Iona. She looks lovely as well. But we're going to be bringing you a show soon with all of the details of these brand new ships and what to look out for.
So with all these changes and everything going on, would we recommend booking a balcony cabin opposed to an inside or an ocean view cabin?
Yep, usually we'd recommend booking the one that you could fit into your budget or your likes, but at the moment we would really recommend a balcony cabin or above. Balcony cabins usually cost a little bit more, but for the fresh air alone, they're going to be worth it. There is still that tiny risk that you could be quarantined to your cabin if there is a case on board, so a balcony cabin would be so much better than being stuck inside an inside or porthole cabin.
If you suffer from seasickness, we recommend you choose a cabin lower down and towards the middle of the ship, as this is where the least movement will be.
And next up, destinations. We've touched on this before, but as everything, now things are changing every 2 seconds. Most cruise lines have their own islands or resorts in the Caribbean. They're going to be using them as much as possible because they are really controlled environments.
They test the crew and staff in the resorts regularly and know that the standards and protocols here will be very high, so we expect to see visits to these islands on most cruises.
All the destinations still seem to be on sale at the moment: Alaska, Europe, Mediterranean, Caribbean, Asia and Australia, but all of these things are subject to change. We recommend not setting your heart on one particular place or port stop. Try to be flexible and open to change. Things are very movable at the moment. Countries have different policies when it comes to cruising, so some may be open and others may be closed at the last minute, depending on the local situation.
This, of course, will get better as the vaccine is delivered and rolled out across the world.
The most thing to take away from this is that changes are going to be coming soon and cruising will get back to normal as soon as the vaccine is rolled out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think personally, a biggest tip for me is enjoy the ship. This is a time where you may be on a cruise to nowhere, so pick a ship that really suits you, that you'll really love, and just enjoy all the facilities on board.
So that's it for this week's episode. Let us know in the comments what you think about cruising in 2021 and if you've got a cruise booked. We love to hear from you.
Thank you to all of our patrons for supporting us. It's because of your support that we're able to keep this channel running, so thank you so much.
Yeah, Captain of the Week is Amy, so ahoy there, Amy. And remember to hit that subscribe button. That's it till next time.
Happy cruising.